Joining up with the Thunder for camp. Talk a little bit about that. What was that conversation like with them, with your agent? Just what did you sort of walk through to make that decision?
With my agent in particular, he just said it's a great organization, great people, and it's going to have your opportunity to come out there and compete. And that's all I've asked for, the opportunity to compete at a high level against some of the best players. And the players they have within the organization and the way the organization just ran, it sounded like the right decision for me to make.
So how long did you have to ponder the possibility of coming?
It was that night. I let them know that night. I had a couple other things on the table, but after meeting with the staff, seeing the facilities, just going around the city, it was something that I felt was the right decision for me.
This is obviously a roster, 15-man roster. They got 15 guys signed. Sort of where you and the other guys that are in camp sort of fit in. How much did you think about that? Was that a consideration at all?
Yeah, that's always a consideration, because when you have a 15-man roster and there's 15 guys that can play, it's something that's going to linger in the back of your head. But if you think negative about a situation, it's going to end up being negative. I try to choose to be positive about everything. I have an opportunity that millions of people wish they had, and my whole thing is I love to compete. So I look at just a platform to compete, and whatever happens, happens.
I was talking to Talib Zana, who was here last year for training camp, and he said you just never know. And last year at this time, everybody's healthy, and then suddenly, a guy like Lance Thomas, who's a camp invite, suddenly he's starting. Are those the sort of things I know you don't wish ill on other guys, but just put yourself in a position that you might ultimately like to stay in for a while? Is that sort of the thought process?
Yeah, I think just in basketball, you never know what's going to happen. And being in our position, you always have to be ready. If you're not ready and the opportunity comes, then that's your fault. NBA is all a league about opportunity, and I think that you have to prepare yourself for that opportunity when it may arise.
The Thunder's built a pretty good reputation for helping guys that have been part of the organization, get that next shot if that's what it comes to. Did you hear anything about that? Was that any part of your decision?
Well, yes. Just talking to everybody, I learned that. And I had a good friend of mine named Dwight Bikes that's within the organization, and, talking to him. And, it's just the sense of care for your players is something that, I very valued. That's what I value as a man, and I feel like, they brought that quality to me, and it seemed to everybody else that's a part of the organization.
Okay, so you're a UTEP guy. I assume
all the way, minors all the way.
I assume that means you might have played a game or two in Tulsa over your career.
Yeah, definitely. That's Tulsa. That was our little brother. Tulsa was our little brother, and we beat OU the one time we played them too. So
you're like king of the state of Oklahoma, and nobody knew it.
Yeah, nobody really knew it. It's Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'll take my wins there though. I'll take my wins there.
What do you most remember about your time at UTEP? Because El Paso's an interesting city, obviously a border town. And what do you remember about your time there most?
The people. The people are amazing. Basketball was so big to them. They embraced me. I was an 18-year-old kid coming from Santa Barbara, California. Complete culture shock. They embraced me. They showed me that care and that love. And when they kind of figured out what my family was and my mom, it was like everybody kind of took with my mom and the value she installed in me, and kind of around the community would come and do, hey, Julyan, what'd your mom say? So more than anything, just the community and the people and the atmosphere was amazing.
They don't have a beach in El Paso, right, when you made that decision?
Yeah, we didn't have a beach. I flew in at nighttime, so I just saw the lights. I didn't know I was looking at Mexico. They tricked me. They tricked me.
Well, it worked out okay.
Oh, it worked out wonderful. I love El Paso. I go back every summer.
Hey, last thing I want to ask you. When you get to this point, when you're an NBA player, you've obviously hit big shots in your career, whether in Little League, high school, college, or at the pro level. Is there a shot you've hit over the years that stands out as your favorite shot?
When I was 9 years old, I hit a game winner. My brother's my coach, and that's something that will always live with me because it was kind of like my first big moment, and everybody, I was always playing good, but to hit the shot and being 9 years old and walking to school the next day, be able to say I bring my little trophy, was amazing.
So set the scene for me. Where was this game? Who was it against? Kind of set the scene.
Goleta Boys Club. We were the Lakers. We were playing against the Bulls. My best friend, Bo Rodriguez, was on the other team. And my brother just told me to get the ball and just score. That's exactly what he told me, get the ball and score. And I remember dribbling, and I remember tripping. I was tripping, and I somehow caught myself, which I was very clumsy, still am. And I just kind of heaved the ball, and it went in. And I was kind of acting like it was meant to be, but It wasn't, but at that it kind of defined me after that. So I enjoyed it. My brother rushed the court, and more than anything, it was just my brother's sense of my little brother did something. I'm very proud. It was the most amazing feeling.
Did he pick you up on his shoulders or anything like that?
He picked me up a lot because he beat me up a lot. So I kind of wasn't trying to get picked up at that particular time.
But you knew it was all in goodwill, right?
Yeah, but it's still a bigger brother. Older brother's 10 and 12 years older than you. You kind of get a little bit of, you get beat up a little bit. So no.
Step off me, boy.
Yeah, and my mom was there, so I was more going to my mom. I'm a mama's boy. Mama.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great stuff. So good to meet you.